and we are discussing about the advantage of the sampling and what is the strategies and all we discussed. And today we'll discuss about the is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I just stopped here yesterday. So we will discuss about the sampling types. Types of sampling we'll discuss. See, one is generally if you see the types of sampling, the sampling is broadly divided into two types. One is probabilistic sampling, another is non-probabilistic sampling. And first we'll discuss about the probabilistic sampling, and then we'll discuss about the non-probabilistic sampling. See, if you look at this probabilistic sampling, what is exactly the probabilistic sampling? So probabilistic means, or probability sampling here means that the sample which has a chance to be selected. So if I can give you an example, suppose there again we'll see the various types of probability sampling, then we'll discuss various types of non-probability sampling. So these are non-probability samplings. See here you see in the probability sampling what exactly happens, that every sample has a chance of selection. Suppose I told you that I want the 10 students from your class of 30. So here I may pick up any 10. So means here that everybody is having I have not designed from the very beginning that X, Y, Z I will take by name. No. What I have adopted a mechanism, and by using that mechanism I am taking 10 students from out of this 30. So here each and every students have a chance of selection. So what exactly happened here, you see, if we see in the we'll discuss one by one in the probability sampling. The first and foremost and very important in probability sampling is simple random sampling. What is this simple random sampling? See, I can pick up if I am using simple random sampling. Suppose I want the 10 numbers. So what I will do, I can list it out all these 30 students, roll number or the name, whatever, in my one papers, and then randomly I can pick up the 10. Suppose I listed out serially 1 to 30, and when I'm using 1 to 30 here, so what I can do, I can select anybody. Suppose whether it is 1, 2, I'll just give an example. So 4, 5, 6, 7. See, 1 second, we'll go with that. Is it visible? Hello.
Yes.
What we are seeing now?
It's showing Microsoft Teams meeting.
No, numbers. Are you seeing the word file, one word file?
No, sir.
I tried.
No, sir.
Huh? You are not able to see any word file. Okay, correct. Then I'll go to that slide only. Well, if you are not able to see, Okay, now PowerPoint is visible. Okay, so what you can do, suppose we are writing the numbers from 1 to 30, a serial number, and from that I can select any number. Means I can pick up 1, I can pick up 7, I can pick up 8, 9. So means total permit of 10 is required, 10 students. So I serial from 1 to 30, and out of this 30 I may select anybody. So there is no restriction that whom I'll select. Whom I'll select is not a matter for me. So means I selected, suppose look at I have a paper now with me, 1 to suppose 30 I have mentioned, and I can select. Suppose I selected 1, I selected 6, I selected 9, I selected 12, I selected 15, I selected 18, 19, 23, then I 26, 28. So means my 10 is over. So you see, out of the 30, I selected the serial number 1, serial number 6, serial number 9, 12, 15, 18, 19, 23, 26, 28. So means I selected the 10 students. So here it is called the simple random sampling. When randomly I picked out the 10 students without any mechanism. So I listed out 30 students roll number, or I serial them all these 30 in the 30 list. Then I picked up any numbers. So that is called the simple random sampling. In this technique, a sample is drawn that each and every unit in the population has an equal and independent chance of being inducted in the sample. So when you see, whenever I listed out all these 30 students' name, so means you people are having a hope that the sir may call me and interact with me, or he may call and me and take an interview. So that means unless and until I selected or I picked up, you all have a chance, because you don't know that whomever I can pick up, because I am not using any mechanism and selected the students here. Got my point? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now, if
Yeah.
somebody will tell what is the mechanism of selection the through a simple random sampling, you can tell, ne? Okay. Here you see, this sampling techniques gives each elements in equal and non-zero chance of being selected. That means in a population of 50 students, each student has the 1/50th chance of being selected. When everybody is having chance. And each element in the population also had the independent chance of being selected. That means the draw of one element will not affect the chance of other elements. So means here, if you look at the selection process here, that if I am selecting one, or it will not hamper the selection of other person also. So that means it is not that X is being selected, so Y is excluded. Not like that. So here what is happening means everybody has a chance, and whomever the person engaged in selection may pick up anything. In the procedure of drawing simple random sampling, what steps you have to do? First, enumerate all elements in the population. Draw sample numbers using lottery methods or table random numbers methods or computer, Excel spreadsheet, whatever. Means either you can do the lottery, suppose 30 serial number, you can make small lottery and 10 from that. So whatever methods, or you can do the Excel, and from Excel you pick the numbers. Whatever mechanism you can adapt, no issue. Simple random sampling method can be used when the elements in the population are identical or homogeneous. Sampling frame can be generated. Eliminate biases, because here what will happen? It will eliminate the bias. So means I am not aware about anybody. I have no closeness to anybody. I am just picking up through lottery method or through computer methods, or through simply ticking it without knowing the names. Means I don't know the names of all these things. I serially made the 30, and whoever in the list, suppose serial number 12, I can pick up, I can call him or her who is in the serial number 12 here. So then You see this here. There are some data are here, and from which I can pick up any samples. Then we'll go to the another. The second one is the stratified random sampling. What is that stratified random sampling? Have you heard the name stratified random sampling?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, strata. What is strata? Strata means subgroups. Either you can
Yes, sir.
you can suppose you can stratify. Suppose you went to a village, and in that village, suppose population of that village is 500. Sorry, household. Suppose you found that households are having 500 households are there, and you want to select only 100 households. Here, what you can do? There are two mechanisms also again for the selection. Either you can use circular random sampling. What is that circular random sampling? Here, or that is called simplest the here in the circular random sampling, what you can do? You can adopt a mechanism. So what is that mechanism? You select that in every interval. Suppose you want to take 100. You have a 500 households in the village. So then, what will be the interval of each sample? Hello. What will be the interval? You have 500 households. You want to take 100 households. What will be the interval?
5.
Yes, interval will be the 5. So then what you can do? You listed out all the households numbers. You first go and give the number of all households. Start from one particular point in the village. That is called circular. Start from a particular point. Give the numbering till the end. Suppose you gave the number to all the households 500. So then what you can do? List. Then from your list you select the house number 1, house number 5, house number 10, house number 15. So house number 20, 25, 30, like dot dot dot, you can go to 500. Got my point? So what you do? You start from the house number 1. You don't know his caste, you don't know his economic condition, you don't know his housing pattern. Whatever I have written, you don't know the gender of the head of the households. You don't know, you have no idea of anything. What you can do? You simply went to the house number 1, interact, then go to the house number 5, then house number 10, like that you can go. So that what will happen? It is called the circular random sampling. So means you are moving with a proper direction. Suppose you are out of 30, I selected randomly 1, 6, 5. I could have selected, suppose if I want to select the 10, I could have selected 1, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, then 30. I could have selected like this, and I could have picked up all the 10 students with a proper mechanism. So in the context of that is circular random sampling. The third one here is the stratified random sampling. See here what I am doing, if I have 500 households in the villages and I want to take 100 peoples, to make it more convenient, to make it more kind of equal and proper representation, here what I can do, I can stratify, I can divide the entire sample on the basis of age, income, occupation. I can pick up some of the points. So either I can divide the sample on the basis of age. Suppose I first figure out the head of the households. I collected the data from Anganwadi or some village panchayat and all, the data about all the households. What I did, I divided all the head of the households, name, caste, age, their occupations, their education levels. So generally it is very difficult to get all these things from the very beginning. What generally, whenever we go to any field study, what we do, we used to collect the basic information from the very beginning, either from the Anganwadi or somebody do a quick survey. So name, caste, then you can have what exactly you are doing, what is the your land holding size and all. That information you can collect for 500 households also quickly, or if you can get from some source, from RI office, from Panchayat, from Anganwadi usually, or Panchayat they can give also, because they have data also. So what you can do, if in case you didn't get, you made a quick survey, within a day you completed 500 households, then what you can do, you then categorize them. Suppose how, are you getting my point what I am telling? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please try to understand, because these are the things highly essential, and you will face difficulties when you will go for because these are the things which will help you throughout your life. And if you are not clear, you will face the problem. See, here how you will stratify. Suppose the basic thing, generally whenever you go village, usually we see the caste, and then we see the economic condition, that is in the stand of land holding size. And regarding this head of the household, generally in mostly, except few specific areas, mostly the head of the households are mostly the male. So there is no necessity of taking that also. Mostly, wherever we select the sample, we mostly focus on caste and land holding sizes. So what you can do, you found that there are, suppose out of this 500 household, suppose 120 are OC, other caste, and you found that are OBC. Then you found that 80 are scheduled caste, and you found that 100s are ST. Got my point? So what you can do, how many sample you will take? We are going to take 100 sample. Okay, you are going to take 100 sample. So what you have to do, you have to again, either you can go proportionate, that I'll come later on, proportionate or improportionate. If the sample is not so diversified, what you can do, you can also think of that you will take 25 from OC, 25 from OBC, 25 from SC, 25 from ST. Then come down to land holding size. Here you see this is improportionate, which will come again, proportionate and improportionate. Otherwise, here also you proportionately select based on you, from 500 you want to take 100, from 120 how much, from 200 how much, from 80 how much, from 100 how much. Got my point? You can also select the sample proportionately. Then what you can do, then go to the land holding size. See, again within the OC, who will select other caste, that general caste, who will take, अरे तुम्हारा साइड से कुछ रिप्लाई आना चाहिए, you should not be ये simple spectator. See, how will take? So again you go to the land holding size. Suppose you found that you made a first some categorization based on the government records categorization. So this, out of this 120, you may find some people are landless, then some are marginal farmers from 1 to 2.5, then small farmers 2.25 to 5 acres, then 5 to 10 medium farmers, then 10 and above are the large farmers. So within this category, again you can find out, suppose out of this 120, you find out that there are 20 landless, 50 1 to 2.5, then you find suppose 25 here, and then 25 5 to 20s are 5 to 10, then you find 5 are above 10. So what you can do here now, again you can proportionately take 25, means out of 120 you are taking 25, out of 20 what is, out of 50 what is, out of 25 what is, out of 20 what is, out of 5 what is. So means you proportionately again giving representation to all the land holding sizes. Got my point? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So in future you should not tell that I didn't understand, because now for everything you are telling yes sir. But I don't know whether you are getting clarity or not. So please repeatedly I am telling, if you are not understanding, please ask me. Because if it is physical mode, it could have easy for us to convince you. Because clear now how we are stratifying? Suppose if also sometimes we classify on the basis of religion also. Then suppose if I am taking the sample from your class, I can classify the sample on the basis of gender also and region also, because sometimes it depends. Suppose you have 30 students from different regions, I can classify on the basis of region, I can classify on the basis of gender, that what percentage I will take female, what percentage will be male, from which region, from different states you people are there, I can classify the India, south, north, east and west, and on the basis of that, or South India, North India, I can classify. I will take, suppose if I am taking 10 students, 5 students I will take from North India, 5 students from South India, and I can tell that okay, proportionately I will take some females and also male. Got my point? Suppose if I will classify the entire NIT Rourkela into my domain of study, I can classify again on the basis of subject discipline. I can classify on the basis of region, I can basis of subject discipline, or on the basis of gender also I can classify my sample. Clear now?
Yes, sir.
When the given population is heterogeneous, please remember why we take stratified random sampling? When the population is heterogeneous in nature. Okay. So the merit allocation of sample size in two methods, that proportionate stratified random sampling and disproportionate. I have already told you the proportionate and disproportionate. Suppose if I am studying, suppose in India, I took a suppose I picked up a particular district and I want to know the perception of the peoples towards the present government. So there what I can do, suppose I found that in that district there are suppose I found that suppose there are 2 lakhs Hindus. I'm just telling you very tentatively, don't think that population of a district is this much. Suppose there are 2 lakhs Hindus, 50,000 Muslims, 10,000 Christians, 5,000 Buddhists, 500 Jainas. So like that you will find, but you want to take on the basis of religion also the perception of the various religious groups toward the present government. So what you can do, you have to first select that how much sample you are taking. Suppose you are taking 1,000 samples from all this. So again you have to go proportionately. You cannot select that 1,000. Okay, there are 5 religions. So 5 religion each got 200. So I'll take 200 from each sample. Suppose you see the Jainas who are having 500 population, you are taking 200. The Hindus 2 lakhs population, you are taking 200. Muslim 50,000 200. And 5,000 population Buddhist, you are taking 200. 10,000 population Christians, you are taking 200. Is it the way? Do you think that it will be a real representation? Hello? Do you think if I am taking the sample of 200 out of this 500 population of Jainas and taking the same 200 from out of 2 lakhs Hindu populations, do you think the sample representation will be correct? Do you think it will be well representation?
No,
Yes.
No,
So,
sir.
so if you found that the present, if the society is more heterogeneous in nature, then the numbers are also highly stratified, highly fluctuated, huge gaps between the numbers. So there what you can do, there you follow this mechanism of proportionate sampling mechanism. Proportionately you select. Clear now? And disproportionate is?
yes.
If I am taking 200 from each, that is disproportionate. If I am taking 25 from the last example, from OBC, OC, SC, ST, that is disproportionate. If I am taking calculating out of 100, then I am calculating out of 120, out of 200, or here 2 lakhs, 50,000, all this proportionately I am calculating. That is called proportionate sampling. Then I have already told you the systematic random sampling means here that is called circular random sampling. Also sometimes you use because it depends upon circular you are moving in the village. That is also otherwise known as also because it the methods of using depends upon the name. Sorry, the name depends upon the method of using. So it is also known as the systematic
Hello,
sampling.
sir. I can't hear you, sir.
Sorry. Hello. Hello. Somebody is asking anything? Hello, somebody is asking anything? Nothing. Okay.
Yes, sir. Someone said that he can't hear it.
Cannot hear me.
Some people are not hearing.
That is then I am helpless. But I think I am very much audible. Am I audible or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. You're on.
Okay. So you see, so means this method is viewed as an alternative to the simple random sampling. Here every 10th element in the means kth means what is the interval, that is kth element in the population is selected after a start with an element from 1 to k. In other words, the element in the sampling frame are selected with a particular sample interval, that is k. Means it depends upon how much sample you are collecting, the size of your universe. Based on that, you have to fix your k. See, after randomly selecting the starting element from the sampling frame, every kth element in the sampling frame is selected. The sampling frame may be arranged in ascending or descending order. So either you can go for ascending order from 1 to you can go for 30, or you can start from 30 to 100. That does not matter for us. So here you see in the systematic sampling. So I have already told you, often the sampling frame and number the elements in the population from 1 to as many as n. For example, n is 1000 in the population. So I have already told you, so no need of again discussing on it again. Then another is very also important, that is called cluster sampling. See, the cluster of village, wards and towns and households. What is cluster generally? See, generally what happens? I'll give you another example of stratified sampling, then I'll come to the cluster sampling. Suppose you want to make a study, suppose in a particular state. Suppose you picked up that I want to study that impact of NREGA on rural migration in the state of Odisha. See, impact of migration, impact of NREGA on migration in the state of Odisha. So what you can do, can you select the entire state of Odisha? It is not possible. You cannot take the entire state and make each and every district and each and every village and panchayat. It is not possible. You have to do the sampling procedure. So what you can do, first you have to stratify the state of Odisha. How you stratify? Either you can go with the government records, that is based on agroclimatic zone. Suppose Odisha is divided into 10 agroclimatic zone. Either you can divide it on the agroclimatic zone, otherwise you can divide the Odisha into two, mostly the political division. The political division is one is coastal, another is tribal Odisha. Coastal Odisha and tribal Odisha, there are two divisions. Then otherwise you can do, one is divide geographically, one is southern Odisha, northern Odisha, coastal Odisha and western Odisha. The east Odisha is mostly known as coastal Odisha. The coastal Odisha, western Odisha, then southern Odisha, north Odisha. So means what you did, then you picked up all the districts from different strata. You are first stratifying. You are stratifying the state into 4 strata. One is North Odisha, South Odisha, Western Odisha, and Coastal Odisha. And within all these strata, what again you are doing? You are finding out what are the districts falls under Southern Odisha, what are the districts falls under Northern Odisha, what are the districts falls under Coastal Odisha, what are the districts falls under Western Odisha. So once you listed all these districts in the different strata, then again you find out the secondary data from various sources that which districts are having the poverty is high. So means again from each strata of 4 you picked up one district from each strata. Then from each district you find out 1 block or 2 block, whatever, based on your cost, based on your time and all. Suppose from each district again you found that you picked up 2 blocks, but 2 mandals, whatever, 2 mandals or 2 blocks you can pick up from each district, which is again based on the similar criteria, that poverty and all. So from each mandal or block again you selected 2 panchayat, and from each panchayat you selected 2 villages. So that means now what happened? If you are taking one block, so from one block you are taking 2 panchayats. Look into first is state stratified. The state is stratified into 4 division, 4 strata. Out of these 4 strata, from you are taking one district, one block. So that means now you are selecting 4 blocks. So 4 blocks, 2 panchayat, from each panchayat 2 villages. So means at the end you are taking 4 villages from each district, 4 villages, total 4 districts, means 16 villages you are now selecting, and this is all called stratified sampling. You stratified, you classified, you stratified the entire state, and within stratifying the state you have finally selected 16 villages. Got my point? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
so means that is an easy mechanism, and you can use some while selecting the block, while selecting the district, you follow certain index that you have to do indexing. Where to get indexing and all, you can look into either human development report of the state, or you can access the census data, NFHS data, whatever. You follow some secondary sources while finalizing the areas and the district and all. So you see, and another very important is cluster sampling. So in this method, the total population is divided depending on the problem of under study into some recognizable subdivisions, which are termed as a cluster, and simple random sampling of this cluster is drawn. You can divide the cluster in the state into different cluster, and then based on that cluster you again using the simple random sampling you can choose those clusters. Steps: divide the population into different cluster. Each cluster must contain all the population elements, and all these clusters should be identical to each other, homogeneous. In stratified random sampling, strata is homogeneous. Here what suppose you see in the village, what you can find out, so you picked up 1 villages, and there you find out that there are 4 or 5 castes, and generally what happens in a village you will find the similar caste people live in a particular area. So you can divide the village into suppose 4 clusters. Suppose it is a caste ridden society, you can divide into 3 clusters. One is the cluster where general communities are mostly staying. One is another cluster where OBC communities are staying, and you can divide another cluster where SC population are residing. There you can, what you can do here, once you divide the different cluster, and there you go and study the and from that again you find out which cluster you are going to select, or you can use simple random sampling and select some of the peoples and do the study. Here you see, select the required number of clusters randomly, whatever the how many cluster you want to take, you have divided into different cluster. Then you selected the different. Suppose you have now found that there are so many clusters. You see, in a village, so you find out there are. Forget about village. Come to the urban area, which will be easy for you. Suppose you go to the Rourkela city. You will find that in Rourkela there are so many slums are there. So many areas where the middle class people are living. So many areas are there where higher class people are living in a different colonies. So you pick the entire population and identify them into different clusters. You find out the identical clusters. Again, it listed them. Suppose slums, all are identical clusters. Maybe you will get 100 slums. You have made one cluster from 100 slums. You have those who are living nearby slums. You can identify them as one cluster. Suppose you found that there are 10 clusters of slums, 10 cluster of low income means medium income range peoples, then 10 cluster of high range group peoples. Then from those 10s you can pick up two clusters, and once you selected the two clusters in a cluster sampling, you have to read the entire sample. It is not that again you will use at the grassroots the sampling mechanism. You have to read everybody. You have to meet the everybody. Select the required number of cluster randomly. Select the units of element from each cluster as sample using any of the random sampling methods to discuss the above. Collect the data from the sample. So you see, generally, once you divide them and picked up all this cluster, either you can go and collect the information from all the households in that cluster, or if that cluster is too high, you can adopt any sampling mechanism, either simple random mechanism or this systematic random sampling mechanism or the circular random sampling mechanism. Whatever is feasible to you, you can identify. More relevant in rural and village areas than in cities and towns. This generally the cluster sampling we exactly use more in more exactly in village and village areas, because the village area is easy to divide into different cluster, because in the urban area it is very difficult, because you see sometimes what you find in a different cluster you will find generally also the medium income groups and higher income groups also lives together. Only slum you can find having an identical similarity, but generally in urban area it is very tough to get, but you can get, because generally some of the colony you'll find that even in a street of a particular colony also you'll find the different income group people are living. Then another is very important is multi-stage sampling. Multi-stage sampling. What is that multi-stage sampling? I have already told you that stratified random sampling while I was telling, that is called multi-stage. Means you have selected the state of Odisha, that is your first. Then out of the state of Odisha, you went through the 4 divisions, that is second stage. Third, you selected from 4 zone, you selected 1 district, that is third stage. From district, you selected 1 blocks, 4th stage. In the 5th stage, from each mandal or block, you selected 2 panchayats, 5th stage. Then 6th stage, you have gone to the 2 from each panchayat, suppose 2 villages. The 7th stage is you have selected the grassroots sample whom you are going to interact. Not my point. So means here the multi-stage sampling refers to the practice of using different samplings methods in different stages of sampling, when the population is regarded as a composed of number of primary, secondary, tertiary and stage sampling on units, and multi-stage sampling is adopted. So see, for example, health status of 500 school-going children in India. You want to know the health status. Again, you have to classify them. You have to go for multi-stage, how to reach at the grassroots levels. List 1 is districts. Some districts should be identified in the state of India. Sorry, in India. So list of blocks in those which I told you. The list of blocks in those selected districts. Some blocks are selected. Then list of school in those selected blocks. Either you can go again panchayat levels, and from panchayat level you can identify schools. Then based on some strata, classification, location and other urban, rural, semi-urban, tribal, again you can divide. Hello. Even while you are going for multi-state sampling, you can stratify the entire zone also, the entire things, and then from that again you go for multi. Then the area sampling, generally people never use this thing. Selection of a geographical area with some characteristic like impact of economic policy scheme, advice, impact of a law and anti-dowry harassment, poverty eradication scheme, and PDS. You can purposefully select an area, and from in that area you can look into the food security scheme and its impact, or anti-poverty eradication scheme and its impact, and so area. Suppose northern Odisha or northern India and all. Example, to access the impact of NRJ in India, the researcher will have to prepare a sampling frame of district where the program has been implemented, district, block, village, in a block, households in the village. These are called area sampling. So I'll stop here. We'll go for non-probabilistic sampling in the next class. So any question? Hello.
Sir, I have a doubt. Sir, in our today's class, we have discussed cluster sampling and multi-stage sampling. There's different parts, two different types of sampling techniques. But is there any multi-stage cluster sampling?
Now you see, there is, look into, there is no such kind of multi-stage cluster sampling. You see, generally you can use that. I use multi-stage and cluster sampling. Getting my point? When you are using two samples, one is multi-stage. Getting my point? While identifying the cluster, you are adopting the multi-stage. So you cannot use the term multi-stage cluster sampling. There is no such multi-stage cluster sampling. One is multi-stage sampling, another is cluster sampling. You can adopt two sampling in one stage also. At the grassroots level also you can, suppose you see, while most of the time, forget of generally cluster sampling in some research we use, otherwise most of this research we use multi-stage stratified sampling, multi-stage simple random sampling, multi-stage stratified random sampling. Getting my point? Means you are using multi-stage sampling and also stratified random sampling. So means while you are going for multi-stage, you are mainly adopting the means while you are going for multi-stage, you are adopting the stratified sampling. Anything else? Alok Kumar? Alok Kumar is here or left somewhere? Or busy in Diwali celebration? So then I'll leave and okay. So